Okay, welcome. Anatomy and Physiology BIO168. This is the introductory video to the course. So I'll be going over the syllabus, going over some of the assignments, going over the course's schedule, and kind of the nuts and bolts of the course. So please give me your undivided attention for about 10 minutes because this is going to give you most of the information you're going to need. When you get into the Canvas course, start here with the home page and it'll bring you up with or bring you up to the announcements and the Start Here page. There is a welcome to Canvas video here. If you are brand new to Canvas, welcome. I am your instructor, Sharon Fields. Sharon Clark recently got married, so email is Sharon Clark. I am a registered dietitian and diabetes educator by trade. So these are that's what the alphabet soup here after my name is. But I am a registered dietitian nutritionist and a certified diabetes care and education specialist. So I have experience in the clinical field with over 15 years of medical nutrition therapy in hospitals and long-term care facilities. And I have been teaching now for about 10 to 13 years, give or take, on both the college level and high school level. So, welcome. I'm so excited to have you guys there again. If you need me for anything, please email me here within the inbox within the Canvas course. That's the best way to reach me. Okay. As we scroll down, the best thing to start with is read the syllabus, read the schedule. Okay. The link is right here. The syllabus link is also right here on the, what do they call this? The pylon, the left pylon, I think. So for the semester, we are 100% asynchronous. Unless you need a one-on-one Zoom video with me, I'll be happy to if you get stuck on a particular issue, but there are no like set meeting dates. However, I will forewarn you, this is a pretty intensive course. It is a lot of work. It is expected that you listen to the or the 2 to 3 online lectures every week and the online lab lectures every week and those should combine to be about 3 hours of study every week and an additional hour of lab and study. And that's just for lecture. Okay. That doesn't include time for you to complete your assignments. It does not include time for your test taking, your note taking, and so forth. So it is a pretty intensive course format, and we do cover about 2 to 3 chapters per week because we're in that 8-week format now. So it moves pretty quick. All right. So we are in the syllabus now. Prerequisites, none. The required materials is you have the textbook here. I recommend that you work with the bookstore 100%. Okay. Don't try to do it on your own. Don't try to, um, uh, get the wrong textbook from some weird site online. Please call the bookstore, go to the bookstore, call them, make sure you're ordering the right things. So you have the textbook. There is an online textbook here through Access Pearson. Okay, so you will have access to that, and we'll talk about how to access that here in a second. You will also need to purchase a lab kit that will be mailed to your home. Okay, so you will go directly to the campus bookstore to purchase. You can call or go directly there, and you will purchase the lab kit voucher. The lab kits will be sent directly to your home. They are through Carolina Biological, and you will purchase the voucher. And once you have the voucher, you will redeem that voucher using a code um, that I have given you the link to here. Okay. I've given you instructions on how to order your lab kit. It's a little different if you will be using financial aid. If you're using financial aid, please follow these steps. If not, call the bookstore directly or go online here to the bookstore and order your lab kit directly. Put in your correct mailing address. It is a pretty big box, but it'll be about 1 foot by 3 foot long. It's a pretty hefty box, and it's going to include your wet dissections that we will be doing for this course, your skeleton, your skeletal model for this course, all the equipment that you'll need to do those hands-on dissections. Remember, this is an anatomy class, so yes, you will be doing hands-on what we call wet labs, at least 2 wet labs and 2 dry labs, and that's why you're going to need your kit. Okay. You see you're also going to need, sorry, a digital camera or your phone, because you'll be taking pictures of your dissected work or videos of your dissected work in your labs and uploading those into your lab manual and submitting that. And also for your proctored exams that we use Useverity for your proctored exams. You're going to need a working webcam with sound for that in order to take your proctored exams. Course description, you can see here student learning outcomes. You can see here, please read through the syllabus. Your employability skills, we'll be working on work ethic. We will be working a whole lot on time management. This course does require a lot of time management on your part. You really do need to devote the time and the effort into completing the assignments and your self-study. And since it is a 100% asynchronous course, that can be a little detrimental for some students. Yes, we like the convenience, but with this course, you cannot wait until the last minute to complete the assignments. Okay, it's just too much, in my opinion. We have these dynamic study modules here that I will be completing 10 of those. We'll go over those. And I think might do a video for each one of these um, uh, for you, just as we go through them. So you have your dynamic study modules here that there's 10 of them, one for chapter, give or take. They're your mastering homework, which is your guided homework. It's pretty much where you read the textbook, answer question, read the textbook, answer question. So these 2 are very easy to get 100 on. Okay, if you take the time and you do the work, you can easily get 100 on 30% of your grade here. You see where these account for 30% of your grade. Then we have 4 Carolina virtual labs. This is what you're going to need your lab kit for. Then we have your PALS labs. These are your labs within Pearson, and we have 4 of those. We have 6 unit tests that will be proctored through Useverity. So pretty much 1 test a week. We don't have one this first week because we're getting set up, but after that, it's pretty much boom, 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 about a test on every 2 to 3 chapters. And then, of course, your final exam. Grading scale here. Course structure, okay, as you see here. Best practices, please log in multiple times. I recommend you log in daily, reviewing the work, staying organized, printing out the course schedule, looking at the items coming at you. I am one of those professors that will open up material early. So if you're like me and you were an eager worker, an eager beaver, trying to complete assignments ahead of time, which I recommend, I will open those up. If for some reason I forget, just shoot me a quick email and say, hey, Miss Clark, can you please, open that up? As far as attendance goes, you can see here, this is standard across the board with JCC. If you are absent exceeding 15%, then you can be withdrawn from the course. And so if you are missing assignments, if you do not check in, if you are checking in and completing assignments like in less than 2 minutes, okay, I will consider that you being absent. So please look at the attendance policy here. Let me know if you have any questions. You need to take the enrollment verification quiz first and foremost. We'll go over that here in a second. That verifies your attendance in course. It verifies your enrollment. You do that with every class as well. course information here. If you have any technical issues for Canvas or your password, you see the Jolt page here, Canvas support, the phone number here. I am not very tech savvy, so ask me your question first, but if I can't answer it, then I may send you to Jolt support for that. And then down here at the very bottom, okay, those are all of our assignments that are in Canvas. Let's go back up here to home now. Okay, so that's your syllabus, the course schedule. For some reason, I don't have it linked here, but I will. We'll go over that here in a minute. We talked about your lab kit, logging into Pearson. So access Pearson here, step 3. This is your online textbook and your mastering software. So your mastering labs, your homework assignments, those kind of things. There is a video here on how to access your account, your Pearson account. It does not cost you anything, so you do not purchase an access code for this. The only thing you need to purchase for this course, other than the tuition, is the lab kit that we spoke about up here, okay? The online access to the textbook, the online textbook comes with the course. Okay, so this is how to get on there. So that's home, announcement, syllabus, access Pearson. So let's click on that next. We'll kind of go down the list here. So when you sign into Pearson, follow those instructions that I gave you there on the home page, and it'll take you here to your My Mastering. Now, mine's going to look a little different than yours because I have the instructor side, but it will, on this left pylon here, it'll show you your assignments, your e-textbook, and I wanted to draw your attention here to the study area. Okay, this study area is where I hope you spend most of your time because it has some really neat features. Okay, we have practice tests here. There's your PALS assignments here. There's lab videos. There's a lot. Study by chapter here. There's a lot of extra resources in here that will really benefit you. The dynamic study modules I do assign to you, so you kind of get the best of both worlds with that. But the this is why I assign the dynamic study modules. I kind of force you to do it because it's a grade, and it may not show up on my side as the instructor, and it's taking too long to load. So I'm just going to exit out of that for right now. But you see here the My Mastering, your e-textbook, and everything that is here. I also help to link the assignments and the chapters in the modules. So let's go here to modules. Professors will do it differently. I like to set up my modules by week instead of by chapter because we cover multiple chapters each week, if that makes sense. So I organize my modules by week. So when you first click on the modules page here, it's going to take you to the introduction here. Welcome to BIO168. You see the syllabus. Once you read the syllabus, there's this acknowledgement confirmation. You'll just complete this. It's simply saying, yes, I reviewed it. Yes, I understand it. Here is another start page. This is the same start page we just went over. So I've linked it there so you won't forget about it and follow that. This is your enrollment verification quiz that you must complete. You must complete this for every course that you're taking. It verifies your enrollment, so please take that. And here is the schedule. So let's click on this as well. I highly recommend that you print this out because you see here it's the dates of each week. the topics we're going to be covering, the assignments that you will have to complete, okay, where that assignment is found, and the due date for that assignment, okay? We talked about ordering your lab kit. That's due ASAP. We talked about the enrollment verification quiz. That's due by Thursday. So you see all of your assignments are going to be colored where you can find that assignment. And when it says Pearson, that's right here. Okay, Access Pearson, Pearson. Where it says Canvas, that is in the Canvas module page. Okay, and the due date. Please pay special attention to the due date. So I recommend getting out your calendar and writing in all of these assignments. Okay, you see your PALS Lab quiz, you see your first proctored exam coming up for week 2 on chapters 1, 2, and 3. It is a fast-paced course, so buckle up and get ready. But it's also a lot of fun. Anatomy and physiology is one of my passions, and it's a lot of fun too. Also, for this first week, you will need to complete the Use Your Verity practice quiz. As you're familiar, if you've taken online courses before, Johnston Community College uses Use Your Verity for its proctored exams. There's a setup video on how to do that if you do not already have that set up on your computer from a previous course. And then you see the setup quiz here that you will have to complete. Also, for this first week, you see your week 1 information. I will give you a welcome page with the schedule. I will give you brief text links here about any assignments, any information for assignments. So you see this first week, complete the lab safety manual within this link here, and you will need to upload a photo or a PDF of the verification of your lab kit that you've purchased and your lab manual. I might do another video later on this first assignment here, just so you're familiar with the Carolina Biological lab kit and how to do that. Lecture videos are here. So with every chapter, remember I said there are anywhere from 30 minutes to 3 hours worth of lecture videos. And in addition to the slides and the lecture videos, so here is the course slides that go along with the textbook, okay? So in addition to the PowerPoints, in addition to the online textbook, and in addition to your dynamic study modules, I have listed optional, what I call notes or student outline notes. If you are a student, kind of like I was, and you need notes, you like to write things down, you want something to study by, with every chapter, I will give you these outline notes that go step by step, that correlate exactly with the PowerPoint slides. Okay, they won't always correspond directly with the lecture videos because myself and the other professors who the lecture videos are by don't always do this. It's not in the same order, if that makes sense. But these outline notes are going to be very helpful. So if you're able to print them out and go through step by step with the lecture slides. Okay, so you see right here, what is science? If you go, let me go back to the PowerPoint here, those student outline notes correspond step by step with the PowerPoint slides here. So it's a good way to take notes. You also noticed in those outline notes where it gave you individual figures, like see here, figure 1-1. Okay, figure 1-1 is an example of 3 core study strategies. Chapter 1 starts with how to study. but I wanted to draw your attention to that figure 1-1 here. And also, yeah, so right here, figure 1-2. Okay. So remember that for a second. Let me go back to the outline notes and I'll show you. Oops. Okay. I said, remember figure 1-1, right? So right here, figure 1-1. What is science? So the answer is right there. You can copy it and paste it, or not copy and paste it, but write it down. Okay. We talked about figure 1.2, 1.3 there, how to look at and understand physiology. Okay. So that's right here. Study skills. So I highly recommend you using these outline notes. Okay. They will really help you in learning the material and going step by step with that. I highly recommend it. I think for chapter 1, I've included the answer key, I think. Yeah, right here. So here is the outline notes, or here are the outline notes you can print out. And here's an example of, for every chapter, you will have those outline notes. This is an example of how I did them. Okay, this is my handwriting. These are my doodle notes on the side. So this is an example of chapter note taking, filling in these blanks while you're listening or reviewing the chapters and reviewing the PowerPoint slides. Okay, these chapter outline notes go with the PowerPoint slides. So you can clearly see this is my notes. So if you needed a guide for this first one, okay, maybe it'll help you. Some kids don't, or some students don't want to take notes. They just want to read. With this much information, though, I do find that these notes are very, very helpful. I will not be giving you the answer key with every chapter. I mean, if you struggle, you can ask me, but I mean, I'm not going to flat out give you the answers to everyone because the point is for you to do the work yourself. But I wanted to show you that example here. And there's an optional active learning workbook here. This is a more detailed note taking. So if you're a student that needs or wants a lot more detail, okay, that is here. These are optional. They are not required. And I actually might take the learning, might actually take these active learning ones down because I would rather you do the outline notes instead. They're shorter and to me they're better, but I'm open to feedback there. So for chapter 1, we're learning anatomical terms. So there's some videos here, some additional videos for you to study. And then you have your mastering homework and your dynamic study modules homework here. So with this mastering homework, it is going to be found within Pearson, aka your online study notebook or your online textbook. Let's pause for just a moment. Are you guys still with me? I know it's a lot of information. Take a deep breath. It's going to be a good class. This first week is always a struggle, but once you learn it and you get into it and you get your schedule down, you'll be fine. Okay. This is an example of the mastering homework. And like I said before, it's pretty much just reading the textbook. Okay, so you see here where you'll be reading the textbook, clicking on the links, looking through the material. And then what makes it dynamic is there's going to be questions as you read. All right. So these do take a little bit of time, and you can do none of it, or you can do them over and over again until you make 100. All right. So this is what I mean by please taking time and setting aside at least an hour every week to do your mastering homework and at least an hour a week to do your dynamic study modules. This mastering homework for every chapter is pretty much reading your textbook. And then at the end, let me show you, yeah, right here, answering these quick check questions as you read. All right. So this is what you get graded on. You get graded on reading the material and answering the questions. And they do take about, I would say, give yourself a good hour to complete each one, each week. Okay. So that's your mastering homework there. Your dynamic study modules are also in Pearson. And don't panic, we cover 15 chapters, but I combine them. I combine at least 4 of those chapters. So uh, it's not technically all 15. Okay. This is an example of your dynamic study modules. Let me go back to end. Hold on. I might need to show you a different one. That one might not. I need to review that. Let me show you a different one. Or did I click the wrong button? So with the dynamic study modules, it takes you through different sections. Here we go. It takes you through different sections of the textbook. So after you've done your mastering homework, it is kind of prompting you with test questions here. All right. And you can do it over and over again until you get 100. Now, students, I will forewarn you, students do sometimes say that the dynamic study modules get a little frustrating because if you try to rush through it, it kind of forces you to go back and do it again, if that makes sense. And if you do miss a question, like say, which serous membrane covers abdominal organs? Ooh, I'm not sure. Okay. So I don't know yet. You'd click submit, and then it's going to take you to, once you end all the questions, it'll take you back to that section of the textbook. Okay. So in other words, these are practice test questions in your dynamic study module. So it's a good way to help you, there again, reinforce the material that you learned doing the mastering homework, if that makes sense. So mastering is where you read the textbook online, answer the questions, dynamic study module, answer the questions. Chapter 2 here, talking about chemistry. So you see your lectures here. I'll give you how many there are and the time and who the lecture is from. They will not all be from me. It's about half and half. All of your lab lectures will be from me. Some of your content lectures will be from other professors. But you see here the PowerPoint slides and those student outline notes that I spoke about for Chapter 2 that I highly recommend. If you can print those out and complete them as you're looking at the PowerPoint slides, that would be fantastic. And there again, your mastering homework for Chapter 2 and your dynamic study modules for Chapter 2. Okay. And as we go through, I will be opening up the following weeks as we go along with your tests and everything. I know that's a lot of information. I know that's a lot of information. So deep breath. You got this. There again, I recommend start here with the homepage for this first week. Understand Canvas. Understand the course syllabus. Print out the course schedule. Okay, let me show you one more time. That's under modules And right here under course schedule, print out the course schedule. Email me if you have any questions. Order your lab kit through the library and complete your week 1 assignments. Okay, we're together in this for 8 weeks. We got this. Let me know if you have any questions. Remember, email me here through Canvas if you have questions. Thank you. Look forward to working with you.